Naso nabimenye mu bisakuzo nzano gusanga ari mamo usitazwa n'utuntu duto dukototera n'ibigari inzika igasaba imitima urwango n'izigo mbega papa igihe byamaze iki utajya imbizi ndasize iki ntacyo gupfa iby'isi n'ubusa twapfaga iki byamaze iki utajya imbizi ndasize iki ntacyo gupfa iby'isi n'ubusa
Ziratashe ntijabuza akabande nk'inzu nziza yakemera nserutse ku muvumba ngo murabe yanamira nserutse ku nama ngo murabe abungere bazo ntiza agahugu kanyu tutiyage ngo tutiyage twiyamirije inyambo ko zitashe ko ziratashe ni mayikana mirezi ziratashe ni kemuna mirayi ziratashe ntijabuza akabande n'inka nziza ziratashe n'inka nziza ziratashe ubona kera intahe yamye yubahwa iyo ubonye umwami yuruza amacere abandi bwami bose baza kumusanganira nuka mwami igihugu cose kiragutasha erega nkundira ndagukeze bizaba nkundiye ndagukeze erega nkundira negere ngomongubeza we badutwibuza wa musi wo kumenya erega ubonye bene imana bakoranye ndabona yemwe bose baje batwenga ubona kera baba bazanye ijambo rimwe ryuzuriza abahuza ikiyago
كم يفغري كتخيليو عطيو عملت قلبي وستابنيو تخليو معايا تخليو تمكريو عتايمو تخبلكي تعدلكيو تخلي تيو كل لما حساب اليوم تيو يخونكي لك قبريو جب يكون وطب فبري وحامي هابني هو أمي هابني يكون وطب فبري وحامي هابني هو أمي هابني
soddoma jedhan gatiin argaan ooltu wal argaa Afriif soddoma jedhan gatiin argaan ooltu wal argaa Sinawween tala wallaggaa namni hundunee wal argaa Sinawween tala wallaggaa namni hundunee wal argaa Sinawwee kaasinawwee kalawwee mormalawwee Sinawwee kaasinawwee kalawwee mormalawwee Siin sinawwee kaasinawwee kalawwee mormalawwee
Protect the children's pledges from all evil, from sin and distress. Forsake not our relatives, and reward all those who help us. Just as you, good Savior, love and forgive each one of us, so we may love and pardon each other. All thanks to you, our Lord and God. Amen. Thank you. You may take your seat.
We invite you to please rise and join us even as we sing the school song. Please be seated.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to begin my remarks by acknowledging the presence of the following distinguished guests. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Her Excellency, the Second Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Mrs. Samira Bawumia. Our cherished founder and honorary president of the SOS-HGIC, Mr. Helmut Coutin. Our board chair and founding principal, Dr. Mrs. Margaret Nkrumah. Distinguished board members present here today, national directors from SOS villages across Africa, from Zimbabwe, Mr. Admo Makunura, from Nigeria, Mr. Gosa Erumunze, from Lesotho, Madame Matato Petronella Meroboli, from Tanzania, Deputy National Director, Mr. Patel Diat, and Mr. Alex Maya Kakula, the National Director for Ghana. I also want to extend a very warm welcome to all our SOS representatives from Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. If you could rise so that we can acknowledge your presence here with us. Thank you for joining us from across the continent. And how could we forget our beloved SOS mothers from Tanzania, Lesotho, Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, Zimbabwe, and Ghana. Please stand up and let's give you a warm welcome. You nurture 1/3 of our student population. We are so glad you can be here to celebrate this wonderful occasion with us. We also have a representative. The SOS family is very wide, and so we have a representative from SOS Canada Programs Office, Kiana Diwat. Thank you for coming. We are very privileged to have members of the Diplomatic Corps from Rwanda. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Yao Graham, thank you for joining us. And being part of a family of schools, we have heads and principals from schools in Ghana. If you can stand up so we can acknowledge your presence. I saw Mr. Laye earlier from Morgan International Community School. Thank you so much for joining us. Mrs. Ansa from Datus, thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful occasion. We also have past teachers here present with us. If you are a past teacher of SOS-HGIC, please stand up and let's acknowledge all the contributions you've made to this college. Mrs. Beho is here. And now we come home to our parents, our current teachers, fellow alumni. We also have representatives from the class of 1996, Mrs. Victoria Bath, and all of you who are joining us virtually. Thank you for coming and for gracing this occasion with your presence. I hope you agree with me that today is a particularly exciting moment for all of us, as it is the first physical graduation since 2019 due to COVID-19. It is wonderful to see everyone gathered here once again in the Margaret Nkrumah Hall as we celebrate the achievements of our learners in the 2021-2022 academic year. It is also a time for us to bid farewell, rather sadly, to our graduating class of 2022. Last year, in my opening remarks, I expressed a hope that we'll all regain some normalcy, hug again, shake hands, take off our mask, and meet face to face. This hope, unabated, has seen us persevere throughout the academic year. The courage we have gained in these times is an indication of our dexterity and versatility as a community. Our strength is emphasized in the words of Michelle Obama, who said, "You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all of the world's problems at once, but don't ever underestimate the importance you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own." May we all continue to face life with courage and hope. On that note, I wish you all a memorable experience at the 2022 graduation speech and prize giving day of the SOS Herman Minor International College. Thank you for coming. I would now like to call on our outgoing head prefects, Fred Sibowa, Nanama Okran, and I want to thank them for their leadership and for helping us open up our community in the last year. I'm going to miss you. I miss all our meetings, and I wish you both well. After their speech, we'll have a poetry recital by Daniel Daku and Isaac Kimati.
Akwaba, Habari, Maramutse, Show, Dumela, Sakubona, Anyong Haseyo. Good morning, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Mr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and Her Excellency, the Second Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Mrs. Samira Bawumia, the Honorary President of SOS Students Villages International and founder of SOS International College, Mr. Howard Kuti, the Board Chair, Dr. Mrs. Margaret Nkrumah, the Board of Directors, the Principal, Mrs. Elise Dadson, the Vice Principal, Mrs. Ajo Ashi, the Senior Leadership Team, the Curriculum Management Team, the Guest Speaker, Dr. Yao Graham, staff, students, parents, alumni, friends, and family of SOS-HGIC. All protocol observed. We gather here today on the 8th of June, 2022, to celebrate the pioneering middle years program cohort. We gather here today to acknowledge the blood, sweat, and tears of staff, parents, and students which have been poured into the potter's wheel, molding us into knowledgeable, principled, and balanced change makers we are today. We gather here today to celebrate a very important milestone in the lives of 86 students. The Genesis. We entered this great academic institution as young and inexperienced boys and girls. We were greeted with vibrant yet seemingly ominous managed back dashboards filled with color-coded tasks in green, blue, red, purple, name them all. This, we are sure, the MYPs can relate to. This was the Genesis.
Racing frantically to the labs during prep time to complete our summatives became the norm, as we had no personal laptops at that time. Our MYP4 brothers and sisters, soon to be MYP5s, be grateful for every resource you have. Trusting the process. The personal project was a new experience for all students and staff, but through the cultivation of a culture of excellence and innovation at the college, we managed to pull off sleepless nights and successfully submitted ingenious products, which eventually became dry runs for this assessment. Out of the blue, COVID-19 hit us nearing the end of our MYP journey, and this completely changed our dynamic of learning, as we had to resort to online tools such as Google Meet and Zoom. Dear MYP5s, soon to be DP1s, soon to be blue shirters, the skills honed from the MYP are enough to make a change. Start now. Know that ingenuity and dynamism open your mind to endless opportunities which you ought to grab onto. Do not be afraid of change.
Dynamism, still trusting the process. We had our first semester of DP1 virtually because of the severity of the pandemic. We had to brainstorm and execute means of raising funds for our CARS project, the Phoenix CARS project, which focused on improving computer literacy in the Community 8 number 2 school. Through texting means such as staying up delivering Valentine's Day packages, designing love mails, and hosting events such as Night Under the Stars, among others. Dear DP1 students, soon to be DP2s, in challenging situations, see the silver lining in the cloud. Cherish every opportunity and memory you have at the moment, because you do not know what tomorrow holds. Even the tallest man can never see tomorrow.
It is finished. Intense and rigorous period to revive the school spirit. And through this, the reconception of hostel pastimes was established. We would fondly remember importuning Mr. Jampo and Mrs. Esuman for the well-enjoyed boys and girls night out, a parting gift from the graduating class to the rest of the students' body. To the incoming student leaders, resolve to make a positive contribution to student life, while at the same time upholding the college's mission and vision to the best of your ability.
Graduating class of 2022, we are extremely confident, ready to claim the world as our oyster. As our roads diverge, let's always remember this. May we never forget those who contributed to our development. May we ever be grateful. May we always reminisce about the good moments shared among ourselves and learn from the bad ones. May we ever be reflective. And may we forever carry the lifelong values and knowledge instilled in us.
Class of 2022, as Eckhart Tolle said, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. On that note, join us in appreciating the tremendous support, guidance, service, and protection from the security, house tutors, teachers, sports department, library department, canteen staff, drivers, support staff, cast team, multimedia and communications team, guidance and emotional counseling departments, tech support, friends, family, and last but not the least, the amazing senior leadership team for leading this great institution. And so, finally, graduating class of 2022, we say to you in all the ways we can.
Ayeko.
Hongera.
Makorokoto.
Mukulike.
Congratulations. Thank you.
I am not yet born. Oh, hear me. Let not the blood-sucking bat, or the rat, or the stoat, or the club-footed ghoul come near me.
I am not yet born. Console me. I fear that the human race may with tall walls wall me, with strong drugs dope me, with wise lies lure me, on black racks rack me, in bloodbaths roll me.
I am not yet born. Provide me with water to dandle me, grass to grow for me, trees to talk to me, sky to sing to me, birds and white light in the back of my mind to guide me.
I am not yet born. Forgive me for the sins that in me the world shall commit, my words when they speak me, my thoughts when they think me, my treason engendered by traitors beyond me, my life when they murder by means of my hands, my death when they live me.
I am not yet born. Rehearse me in the part I must play and the cues I must take when old men lecture me, bureaucrats hector me, mountains frown on me, lovers laugh at me, the white waves call me to folly, and the desert calls me to doom, and the beggar refuses my gifts, and my me.
We are not yet born. Oh, hear us. Let not the man who is beast or who thinks he is God come near us. I am not yet born. Oh, fill me with strength against those who would freeze my humanity, would dragoon me into a lethal automaton, would make me a cog in a machine, a thing with one face, a thing, and against all those who would blow me like thistledown hither and thither, or hither and thither like water held in their hands, would spill me. Let them not make us stones, and let them not spill us, otherwise kill us. Thank you. This was a prayer before bed by Louis McNeese. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Danielle and Isaac, for that wonderful poem. Unfortunately, the principal is unable to join us today. She sends her regrets. She really wanted to be here, and as a result, I'll be reading her speech on her behalf. Distinguished guests, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and his wife, Her Excellency, the Second Lady, Mrs. Samira Bawumia, founder of SOS-HGIC and honorary president of SOS-KDI, Mr. Helmut Coutin, the board chair, Dr. Mrs. Margaret Nkrumah, and members of the SOS-HGIC board, our keynote speaker, Dr. Yal Graham of the Third World Network, alumni speakers, Mrs. Victoria Bath and Brian Frimpong from the class of 1996, national directors and colleagues from the SOS Children's Villages across Africa and SOS Kinderdorf International, parents, staff, SOS-HGIC alumni, continuing students, and finally, our esteemed SOS-HGIC class of 2022, who we are gathered here to celebrate today. Isn't it wonderful that we can gather in person for this graduation event, a high point in our college calendar, where we celebrate all we do that makes us SOS-HGIC? Isn't it great to be able to recognize our outstanding students, celebrate our graduates, and bid them farewell in this manner after 2 years of virtual ceremonies? As we induct our graduates into the special group of people called the SOS-HGIC alumni, let us pray that this becomes the norm going forward. Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." To the class of 2022, I hope while you have been with us, you have gained a wealth of education, both academically and also in the co-curricular sphere, which you can draw on to use as a force for good, wherever you find yourself. Here are a few questions for you to ponder on. What will you do with your SOS-HGIC education? What are the skills you need to draw on as you leave to tertiary education, further study, or a gap year? How has the world changed since COVID-19, and how will it affect you and your future? When you think of the IB learner profile, which of them is going to be really important to you going forward, and why? What are those values that are bound to your character and define your integrity that you will never compromise on? Lots of questions. These are for you to think through in your quiet moments. I want to advance balance as a very important attribute to be able to achieve, and I want to encourage you to prioritize balance. How do you do that? Think over all you have learned at SOS-HGIC and how you achieved your goals. Did you attain balance? It comes back to time and self-management skills, which you of all people know about as IB learners. Does that mean you overlook things? No, you prioritize and you organize. We are very proud of you, our maiden and pioneer MYP cohorts. We hold firm the belief that this bold step you took when you embarked on the SOS-HGIC journey has paved the way for all the cohorts behind you, and you should take pride in this moment. Yes, it was challenging, and we have had several moments of reckoning over your time here. But I feel sure that we have provided the foundation for you to learn more about yourself, and you define the ways you will set future goals. All the moments of accountability were learning moments which we hope would have prepared you for further study, and most importantly, for the resolve to endure, achieve, and succeed. I want to take a minute or so to talk about giving back and how our motto, knowledge in the service of Africa, can shape your attitude to giving back. Giving back can come in many ways, shapes, or forms, and I commend our alumni for their efforts in giving back to this season of college re-engagement with alumni. I support the Alumni Fund, spearheaded by the class of 1996, and encourage all year groups to support them. The class of 2022 can think of what our motto means to them and how they will live it out personally and collectively. You have started by completing your CAS project, and I encourage you to stay in touch with us. If we can support you beyond SOS-HGIC, please let us know. Class of 2022. All too soon, your time with us at SOS-HGIC is drawing to a close. I wonder what memories you take with you and what your best moments are. SOS-HGIC prides itself in being able to provide its students with a wide range of opportunities to develop themselves. I wonder if you took the opportunities and whether you have grown as a result. Do take time to reflect on your time with us when you can. It will really help you focus on what your strengths are and the areas you can work on. You are a resilience group, having had most of your time here under the COVID-19 cloud. I sincerely hope it has not reshaped the way you approach challenges adversely, but rather that it has strengthened your resolve to succeed no matter the challenges. I cherish the time you have spent with us and the contributions you have made to our community. You were at the forefront of the efforts the HGIC community made after the long time away from school to start opening up. And I'm glad you challenged us to be bold and to take some risks. We're able to enjoy some of the community spirits we lost as a result of COVID-19. I feel very privileged to have had a small part in shaping you, and I know you go on to become impactful people. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, a renowned Kenyan writer and academic, says, Africa needs back its economy, its politics, its culture, its languages, and all its patriotic writers, class of 2022. Africa needs you to use your knowledge in the service of Africa. With this, I congratulate you and welcome you into the special and exclusive group of people called the SOS-HGIC alumni. I encourage you to engage with the college when you leave. To your parents and guardians, I thank you for your unflinching support, even when it was tough. I appreciate you and I want you to know we value your input. To the coordinators, HODs, teachers, and support staff, none of our success as a college is achieved without you. And I'm very grateful to you for your tireless efforts in delivering what everyone knows as the amazing SOS-HGIC experience. To the continuing students, you are our backbone, and we depend on you to challenge us and to hold us to account. But we also expect you to work hard in response to what is offered to you at this great college. Keep giving your best to SOS-HGIC, and the sky will be the limit in terms of what you can achieve. To the alumni here present, we welcome you back to our community and hope that together we can develop ideas for the good of the college and give you opportunities to engage with us in ways that are appropriate and meet your needs. At this point, I would like to take a brief moment to announce the new leaders who will be heading the prefectship body for the 2022-2023 academic year. Head boy for 2022-2023 academic year, Nana Yao Ajiman. And the head girl for 2022-2023, Danielle Poku. Finally, I invite everyone gathered here and online to join me in wishing the class of 2022 every success as they embark on the next phase of their lives. Congratulations to the class of 2022. We now have a song by the school choir, "Oh God Our Help" by FW Peace. Thank you to the choir. I now have the distinct honor of welcoming Dr. Margaret Nkrumah, the board chair and founding principal, the formidable Mrs. Nkrumah, to present to us the guest of honor.
As for you. Thank you very much. I am here and tasked with introducing a man who does not need any introduction and who's quite likely to interrupt me in the middle and make me sit down. But for what it's worth, Mr. Helmut Kutin. He succeeded the founder of SOS International, Mr. Dr. Hermann Gmeiner, in 1986. Until 2012, he was president of the federation. Prior to that, he had spent his work life in Asia, not in Africa, building over 40 villages and related facilities. During his tenure as president, he transformed SOS Children's Village International into an organization with a presence now in 137 countries, with over 570 children's villages worldwide, with schools, health clinics, vocational and technical institutes, and outreach programs into the community. Now, when he began visiting Africa, he wondered why there were so few SOS children attaining higher education in our facilities throughout the continent. He became committed to improving the work of SOS in Africa, and he came up with the idea to set up a school of academic excellence for the children of SOS Africa in Ghana, so that they too could go to university and contribute to the development of their countries. Thus, in 1990, the SOS Hermann Gmeiner International College in Tema was born. It was his vision to build a school where the brightest and best, and that was his phrase, SOS African students from all over English-speaking Africa, and now, of course, we also have from French-speaking Africa, Burundi, Rwanda, could live and study together with their Ghanaian classmates, and throughout the college's 32 years of existence so far, he has ensured that we have had the infrastructure, the resources, and personnel to fulfill that vision. He has done the same for SOS Ghana, Children's Villages Association, finding the funding to add 2 more villages to the existing Tema and Asiakwa villages in Kuntamale, together with their primary schools and health centers. He has never wavered in his support of SOS Ghana and the college, and he is responsible for a major part of their successes. And every year, he makes sure to visit Ghana and be here for graduation, because this really is his second home. It should also be noted that, to the shock of many in the SOS world, he chose a vice president from Ghana when I retired as principal in 2008, thus further demonstrating his faith in and commitment to Africa. He is a man of vision with the biggest heart I've ever seen for all the vulnerable children of the world. And he is our founder, mentor, and inspiration, and still the honorary president for life of the SOS Children's Villages International. Mr. Kuti.
Akwawa, we are all together as parents, students, teachers to congratulate the young generation who I'm sure have made the best exams of the last 32 years of the SOS Hermann Minor International College in Ghana. If not, the vice principal will be fired and we will have a new one. Congratulations to the young people. You will go and show the world that you belong to a tremendous special group of young people who are willing to do something positive. Unfortunately, our principal is sitting at home with a full, beautiful outfit of the Hermann Minor International College on her favorite chair, but she cannot be present here because of COVID-19. So we are sending a special applause to her, and since I'm very old and hard of hearing, I want to hear more. Mrs. Ellen Dutson, you know, everyone knows that you are here with your heart, with your mind, but they miss you, but I'm sure you will miss them more than they miss you. The SOS Hermann Minor International College is something very special in the worldwide SOS Children's Village family. Yes, it's correct, it's very dear to my heart, and you can see that the one who really built the academic setup, Dr. Professor Margaret Nkrumah, has become younger and younger. She even fits in the clothes from 3 years ago, and she is very happy about that achievement, and she is looking forward that next year she will be also on a face-to-face congratulation party and not online, offline, online, offline, online, offline. The world has to learn that we have to live with this COVID-19, and the better we are prepared, the better we will be able to get through. So many countries have cut themselves. I myself was cut in one country for 16 months. I couldn't go anywhere, only in the country. Then my president from Austria, not the president of SOS, the president of the country, called me and said, we will have an evacuation flight. So I told him, Mr. President, in my life I had 4 evacuation flights. I'm not going to make a 5th one. I am waiting till I have a normal flight out, which I did. We are all very happy of the support of all the parents. We are very happy about the young people. Sometimes they behave very well, sometimes they behave not so well, but this is part of life. One thing, whenever you make a mistake, stand for it. Don't start to talk around and find some excuses left and right. Simply stand up and say, yes, I have made a mistake. I stay for it, I stand for it, and I will do better next time. My special thanks and appreciation go to the teachers. I see they are so extremely happy to go on vacation. But don't worry, you have to be back in 2 months and work once more. And my special thanks go to all the staff, from the kitchen to the guards, to the vice principal, to the finance officer. Now I'm not naming a lot of names because I will miss somebody and that will be a disaster. So I keep it with the African way, all protocol observed. Of course, we have a parent here who is here today in his capacity as parent, but he cannot deny to be the Vice President of Ghana. So, Your Excellency, we highly appreciate that you have taken your time to give honor to your daughter, not to the college. And I'm sure that your beloved wife and you had a very bad experience in entering the last little road from the main road to the college. There are a lot of holes and bumps and and from my limited knowledge, Your Excellency, around the world, every vice president has a special budget somewhere. And maybe your beloved wife will tell you, look, for the next graduation, I'd want to go straight and not pam, 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 pam. So, I think in the name of the young people, we would be very happy to hear anything from you. Whatever you announce will be very good for us. And I am gratefully handing over the microphone to His Excellency, the Vice.
Thank you very much. I think another round of applause to the founder. We are all here because of him, his vision, and what he has done for SOS around Africa. I think he's made a request, and let's leave it at that. Words don't speak, it's only action. So we'll take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. 2 weeks ago, I did the same thing in Austria, and the Prime Minister was sitting there. When I called him out, he said, I'm never coming to any function of yours anymore. Because you always ask too much. Now, young people, the next step is coming. Go with a good spirit. Service in the knowledge of Africa. And wherever you go, never ever forget your roots. Be proud of any country where you come from. If it's poor, if it's rich. But you have to show that you care and that you are willing to do a little bit more than your normal duty for your own brothers and sisters, for your own country. I hate it when I meet many young people around from Latin America to Asia, Africa, and Europe who are always insulting their own country. This is not the way to do it. The way to do is to do it better. So go as ambassadors of the SOS Hermann Miner International College and bring honor to your mothers, to your fathers. We also have some fathers here, yeah? And make the best of what you have received during these 4 years. And once more, our founder, Hermann Miner, used to say, I don't like people who don't make mistakes. Because people who don't make mistakes, they do nothing. And we need people who do something. And let the words be followed by deeds. My best wishes and congratulations, and enjoy this beautiful day where for the first time after 3 years we can meet face to face and not online, offline, online, offline, online, offline. I am tired of these machines when I look in there because it's so boring, yeah? Now we are together. Let's keep it this way and be courageous enough to fight COVID-19 with all the means available. Many thanks to each and everyone who has come here this morning to congratulate our school leavers and make sure that the Alumni Association of the SOS Hermann Miner International College is going to grow. We are by far too small. We have other schools who are doing much better. All the best to each and every one of you. Bring honor to your parents, bring honor to your country, bring honor to yourself. Akwaba.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kutin, for bringing us such a great message and such good cheer and making us smile and laugh through such a wonderful occasion. Class of 2022, we need to do some special prayers for your grades, otherwise my job is on the line. So we need to start praying. I'd like to invite Mr. Tonga Ndoro, who is going to take over for the next half of the ceremony. Mr. Tonga Ndoro, I hand over to you. Thank you.
Music and dance is a form of communication in African society. Songs accompany marriages, birth, rite of passage, political activities, and any kind of celebration. As a Pan-African school, it is befitting to celebrate this milestone, the African style. Next, we are going to have dancers from Southern Africa, followed by Uganda and Ghana. Thank you.
Chara wala gabi fuma, chara kachipo, kujja abazadde kyabatwalagane ku ndagu bafuna okulana neyakutwala nazikula abawana bakulangana essenga n'abagulira embeera z'obufumbo nti wano tokolabo wano olabwoti mwana wattu ebyo byaggwawo abakacoko tuzadde wati n'ebirerya osanyusiza nnyo watu kyotwaziza akalagala wekatajja oliika kokweka mutwalira abazadde bamulabeko ye mama ng'oserakala omwoyo omusajja omulagatira yagala ng'azalakuza sabuno omwana linzita yagala ng'azalakuza esanino omwana linzita
kuna wale walishabarikiwa na Mungu wale walishapenda zaidi yule show me the way, show me every possibility. Others can plenty, others no opportunity. Show me the way how to live out a calamity. Show me the way how to live better, to live better. Nipate maisha mazuri, watoto wasome vizuri, wapate chakula nzuri. Nipate maisha mazuri, watoto wasome vizuri, wapate chakula nzuri. Kama hakutaki Pete Kenyatta Kabila Kagame wale kuna wale
Mama
Thank you so much. I wanted to join in, and I was told that I wasn't wearing the right outfit. Next on the agenda, I would like to call upon our distance intervention program coordinator, who's also a member of the curriculum management team, Mr. Christian Gogovi, to come and introduce the guest speaker.
The Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. The Second Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Her Excellency Samira Bawumia. The founder of SOS-HGIC, Mr. Helmut Kutin. The Board Chair, Mrs. Margaret Nkrumah. The Principal, Mrs. Ellis Datson. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, our indefatigable national directors and representatives from our SOS children villages across Africa, ever exuberant and dedicated parents, industrials, staff and students, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to introduce the guest speaker for this august ceremony, Dr. Yao Enya Graham. Kindly indulge me. Our guest speaker is a paragon of versatility. He's a lawyer by training and the coordinator of Third World Network Africa, TWN Africa, a Pan-African non-profit advocacy organization in Accra. TWN Africa works for social and economic equity in Africa and equity for Africa and the global order, with a primary focus on the issues of international trade and extractive industries, gender and development. Dr. Yao Graham was born in Jelukope in the Volta region. After his basic education in Jelukope and Kpando, he studied at St. Augustine's College, a reputable senior high school in Cape Coast in the central region of Ghana. He then read law at the University of Ghana, graduating with a Bachelor of Laws degree, LLB. Supported by a scholarship from the University of Ghana, Dr. Graham obtained a Master of Laws degree with distinction, cum laude, in international and comparative law from the Free University of Brussels. He subsequently earned a PhD from the University of Warwick, Coventry, UK. A man of wide-ranging skills, he has written and lectured extensively on Ghanaian, African, and international development issues. In addition, he is the African editor of Review of African Political Economy. Beginning with editorial roles in student publications, Dr. Graham has developed a career in journalism with articles in highly regarded Ghanaian and European newspapers and magazines such as The Guardian, New Statesman and Society, New African, African Business, the defunct West Africa magazine, the Paris-based Le Monde Diplomatique and Africa Report. He was also the founding editor of the now inoperative Ghanaian weekly paper, Public Agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest speaker, Dr. Yao Graham, is married to Professor Georgie Chikata, Director of the Institute of African Studies, University of Ghana. They have a son, Susu, an alumnus of the SOS-HGIC class of 2015, who works as a researcher and journalist at City FM in Accra. Susu calls Dr. Graham the Grey. And with Susu's unsolicited permission, may I, in all humility and alacrity, invite the Grey, Dr. Yao Enya Graham, a man of integrity and dexterity, to address this assembly of distinguished personalities. Thank you very much. The Grey.
It's always a pleasure to come to SOS and see all the things, the Pan-Africanism that infuses the school's curriculum and culture. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Baumia and Mrs. Baumia, the founder of the SOS Minor International College, the chairperson and members of the board of the SOS-HGIC, the principal and staff of the college, parents, invited guests, past and present students of the college, good morning to all of you. I'm grateful for the invitation and privilege to be the guest speaker at this year's graduation ceremony. I've been associated with the school for a while. My earliest memory of direct involvement with the life of the school is of being invited some 15 years ago by one of the student clubs to speak about peace and the role of the United Nations. More recently, my son, who graduated in 2015, and some of his cousins were students. I have fond memories of my wife and I regularly visiting the residential campus and also joining other parents and guests at this academic campus for various events, such as the inter-hostel singing competitions. I salute the staff of the college for their hard work and dedication, which have made positive contributions to the rounded education and formation of my son, other members of my family, and hundreds of others. This is the first in-person graduation ceremony in 3 years due to the widespread disruption of socioeconomic life and large gatherings by the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 and 2021. Of course, not being able to hold in-person graduation events is one of the lesser negative impacts of the pandemic. I, like some of you in this gathering, lost relations and friends to COVID. In the wider world, in addition to those millions who were killed or impaired by the disease, even bigger numbers of people lost their means of livelihoods, jobs, and businesses. I want to use the experience of the COVID-19 pandemic to reflect on the importance of the mission of this college and the role of its students in Africa's development and place in the world. It is widely accepted that contrary to early fears, Africa suffered relatively low infection and mortality rates, even when account is taken of the limited testing and underreporting of cases and deaths. This notwithstanding, the experience of the pandemic has highlighted elements of the African condition which are important features of the world in which SOS graduates will operate as adult citizens and professionals. This reality underlines the enduring importance of the mission of the SOS-HGIC, that is, to produce citizens who are confident in themselves as Africans and who think about giving back to their societies. It is therefore worthwhile to reflect on these issues through the lens of the college motto, knowledge in the service of Africa. On the positive side, reflecting the ideals of this college, the COVID-19 pandemic provoked a flowering of service to community, sacrifice, and creativity throughout Africa. Thousands of unsung, poorly paid sanitation and health workers operating within woefully under-resourced health services played a key role on the front line of managing the spread of the disease and caring for the sick. More visible, with higher profile, are the experts who became the public face of those leading the responses to the pandemic. These range from national officials to returnees from the African diaspora who helped set up and manage bodies like the African Union's African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Africa CDC. The exigencies of the crisis awakened the creativity of many. These range from ICT innovations such as digital platforms for connecting doctors and patients, adaptive e-learning systems to keep education going, to the foot-pedaled hand-washing facility created by a teenager in a remote village in the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro. There has been widespread solidarity and self-help arrangements. At the local level, communities provided food and other support to persons in crisis. As the limits of the state social security system was exposed by the pandemic. In Ghana, private sector leaders mobilized resources to build a specialist COVID hospital. These uplifting cases of service, solidarity, and creativity, ranging across skills categories, social classes, and other identities during the COVID-19 pandemic show that the better Africa we want is possible. They, however, cannot obscure the many sobering things about the African condition that have been highlighted by the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic confirmed our worst fears about the shabby state of Africa's health services. Health workers were exposed to infection because of the lack of protective equipment and other material. The low public investment in medical and other areas of research came to haunt us. The growing socioeconomic inequalities across the continent meant that millions of people did not have the conditions and means for the hygiene, sanitation, and other social distancing needed for managing COVID-19, nor could they afford the economic cost of lockdown. When the world shut down in the early days of COVID-19, Africa's weak manufacturing capacity and dependence on imports resulted in shortages and increased prices of some basic goods. Worst of all, once again, Africa became the object of the world's charity for the supply of material such as personal protective equipment and vaccines needed to respond to the health emergency. Charity, however, failed us on the key item of the COVID-19 vaccine. Africa has by far the lowest vaccination rate of any continent. According to the WHO's figures, as of the end of May 2022, only 19% of Africans were fully vaccinated. The figure for Ghana is indicated as 20%. 8% for Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation and biggest economy, and as low as 0.11% for Burundi. These figures contrast sharply with the 74% vaccination rate for high-income countries and an astounding 87% for Cuba, a small country suffering unprovoked strangulation by the United States of America. Africa's low vaccination rate is a story of its internal problems and failures, and also its weak leverage and subordinate place in the world. It's also the story of the range of skills, knowledge, and attitudes that Africa and its people need to urgently develop to advance our development, meet our needs, in the process increase our leverage in the world, and cease to be the object of discrimination and unpredictable charity. Africa looked to meet its COVID-19 vaccine needs through imports and aid, but ended up bitterly disappointed. We looked outside because our countries do not have the capacity to produce the vaccines, and the global firms which own the patents and the knowledge would not make it available for use in Africa except at a very high price. Also, the powerful countries whose companies control the vaccine production resorted to hoarding much more than they needed, even as people were falling sick and dying in Africa and other parts of the world. Even when African governments were holding money ready to buy vaccines, they were not on offer. There is the extreme case where an American firm produced vaccines for export at this South African facility, but will not make any available for use in South Africa. Over the past 2 years, the most important Western vaccine manufacturing companies have earned tens of billions of dollars in profits from vaccine sales. The high talk by global powers of all humanity facing a common health emergency from COVID-19 proved to be hypocrisy in the face of the discrimination Africans faced. The lack of capacity for vaccine production, however, in most African countries is partly due to a combination of poor and unaccountable political leadership and the absence of transformative development vision, planning, and investment. This has resulted in the absence of the requisite productive capacity and human resources across the continent, whilst political leaders, in many cases, waste scarce resources on corruption and patronage. These are the same factors why Africa's youth, even skilled ones, face an uncertain future about jobs and livelihoods. Tens of millions are unemployed. Many are desperate to migrate out of the continent by any means, while some are vulnerable to recruitment by violent groups. This reality is also producing cynicism across the continent about the value of electoral politics. This is because changes of government through elections in many cases yield little change in policies or how power is used. Young people everywhere are key actors in changing the course of history and the destinies of their countries. We have seen this in the role of youth in recent political protests across Africa and globally in the demand for climate justice and the feminist Me Too movement. As some of the best educated members of your age group who will further improve yourselves in the coming years, it is important that the products of SOS-HGIC become active citizens pressing for a more visionary and accountable political system and leadership across Africa, which address the developmental shortcomings highlighted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The foundations for such active citizenship are being laid in the college's education, including the Services Action Program and the activities of various student clubs. The knowledge you have acquired here and the skills you develop in the coming years are important for addressing Africa's development needs. These are not only the scientific and technological knowledge and skills. The COVID-19 pandemic has raised issues beyond health and in all areas of economy, politics, and society. Adequate responses to which calls forth knowledge and skills related to these areas and more. In addition to science, technology, and engineering, we need persons trained in the social sciences and humanities. The low COVID-19 vaccination rate was also partly due to vaccine hesitancy induced by ignorance and fear. Reducing vaccine hesitancy must tackle people's belief systems and attitudes. The same approach is needed to deal with some of the causes of maternal mortality and the transformation of outmoded agricultural practices. We need good historians who can chronicle and analyze what we have been through with the pandemic and the lessons. We need creative writers to engage with the trauma of the pandemic through the prism of fiction in prose, drama, and poetry. Africa's shabby and discriminatory treatment over access to COVID-19 vaccines falls into an old continuum of Africa's subordinate and weak place in the global order, a reflection of global inequalities and the accumulation of historic injustices. The widely publicized images of discriminatory treatment of African students fleeing from the war in Ukraine are hardly surprising, but still shocking. Strengthening our ability to produce key resources, such as vaccines, and being less dependent on the charity of others is key for strengthening Africa's leverage in the world and changing the condescending treatment Africa receives in the international arena. In the meantime, however, the struggle for equality and respect for the dignity of Africans as persons must go on. The Black Lives Matter movement is currently the most vibrant manifestation of this anti-racism. Over the past few years, the movement in the global north, especially in the countries that benefited from colonialism and the enslavement of black people, has confronted institutional racism in its overt as well as its most sophisticated forms and won important victories. Some Black Lives Matter campaigners have picked up the fight against vaccine apartheid being experienced by Africa, seeing it as a logical part of the fight against racism. Across the global north, there's a renewed Afro-optimism and pride, which reinforces Africa's demand for equity in the global order. This is the world into which students of this college heading to universities in North America and Europe will step into. Gaining admission into universities in Europe and the USA is an important target for many students from SOS-HGIC. For the students, such admission is an opportunity for optimizing self-development and life's prospects. Race relations are often an important part of the adaptation challenges all African students face. We all experienced it. The African student abroad is invariably on the front line of the struggle for the dignity of Africa and Africans. He or she is the object of the accumulated societal presumptions and prejudices about Africans. The curriculum of SOS-HGIC has a conscious concern with producing persons who have confidence in themselves as Africans. This is an important preparation for those of you who are going to study outside Africa. It should aid your self-confidence for the adaptive challenges you will encounter. The experts from the African diaspora who rallied to help the continent deal with COVID-19 are the forerunners of those in this year's graduating group who will be studying in North America and Europe. Like you, they were once young high school graduates looking forward to studying abroad. They eventually settled into living and working outside Africa, whilst others returned. The same pattern will be repeated with this year's graduating class and the years thereafter. In a few years, all of you would have entered the world of work somewhere in Africa or outside. Irrespective of where you settle to live and work, there's a simple, enduring test of your identity as products of SOS-HGIC. What are you contributing to Africa? How are you applying your knowledge in the service of Africa? This is one of the standards by which you should judge yourself. I congratulate the class of 2022 on your graduation and wish you all the best in the next stages of your education and beyond. I thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Graham. African problems can only be solved by the African youth. And as you leave, we hope we have equipped you to take the world and come back and serve Africa. Next on the agenda, we have a song written by Amajebeza and arranged by Dr. Yamachi Boateng. It translates to, "We are from far away, we have a long way to go." Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, the choir. We are almost reaching the climax of the events. Now we get to a point where we recognize our students. I would like to call upon Mr. Jonathan Namengo, our Middle Years Programs Coordinator, to the stage for the distribution of the prizes. And to assist in presenting the prize, I would like to call upon the National Director from Lesotho, Madame Matabo, and the National Director from Nigeria, Mr. Egoso. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, distinguished guests, parents, staff, students, all protocols observed. It's time to award our MYP students who have excelled in their studies during the academic year. Our MYP awards are based on students' overall performance in all MYP subjects. Before giving the details of the three categories, kindly note that MYP grades range from 1 to 7, where 7 represent the best grade and 1 is the least. As a school, we expect all our students to get grade 5 and beyond. Now, the principal rule. Students who make top 5 percentile of the total aggregate point earn a spot on the principal rule. So to simplify it, a student doing 10 subjects must earn an average grade of 6.65 to 7 in all subjects to qualify to be on the principal rule. Indeed, this is not an easy task. We have only one student for this most coveted award this year. So the Academic Achievement Award, we have students who make top 10 percentile of the total aggregate point to qualify to be Academic Achievement role. This means the student doing 10 subjects must achieve an average grade of 6.3 to 6.64 in all the subjects of study. We have 10 students, of which 2 are MYP 5 and 8 MYP 4 students. So the last category is the Significant Improvement Award. We consider students who have progressed significantly in their total MYP final aggregate points for the Significant Improvement Award. We have 4 students from MYP and 4 from MYP 4 and MYP 5. 4 from MYP 4, 4 from MYP 5 for this category. So I'll call on the National Director for Lesotho to give the principal role and the Academic Achievement Award to students. Can we clap for them? For the principal role, we have Nuna Abuja. So Nuna Agoja is an MYP 5 student doing 9 subjects with a total aggregate point of 122 out of 126. He earned 16 of grade 7 and 2 of grade 5 in the academic year. Nuna, congrats. We move on to the next category, Academic Achievement Award. We have Michelle Baden, Iris Abna Akosayabo. So they are MYP 5 students. The rest are MYP 4 students. We have Nana Ahimfo Dankwa. Isaac Kimati. Nadia Jalaluddin. Ashley Dora Tamaklu. Romy Dakun. Ohima Yapremu. Naki Do. The last student for this category is Ian Hubert Latte. Thank you, Mrs. Moboli. You may have your seat. So for the next category, we're looking at Significant Improvement Award. We have Nana Efua Osei Tutu, MYP 5. Elizabeth Ann Mensan. Berima Chenebu Akudia. Natasha Neti, MYP5. Can you look at the photographers? Okay, thank you. The rest are MYP 4 students. Madeline Darkon. Holiness Yabua. Oriel Dia. Okay, so Oriel Dia is not here with us today. The last person is Kweku Srebo. Thank you, sir. You can have your seat. Thank you. So I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all the MYP4 students for completing your first year in SOS-HGIC. I know it hasn't been easy. Clap for yourself. For all the MYP5 students, I know your teachers have equipped you with all the skills, the knowledge, and the attitude to succeed in DP. Memamo Ayuko. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mengo. Now we're going to have a school song, followed by the DP, one in DP2, Prize, and Mrs. Addison. You can go to the stage. Thank you.
They're supposed to sing it like while they're setting up the stage, but remember they stuff. Yeah.
Baba
you. Hello. Thank you to the school choir. And good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. I was telling Mr. Ndo that I'm keeping track, and it looks like 13 girls to 6 boys. Let's see how that changes by the end of the DP1 Prize Awards. The diploma program academic prizes are subject prizes awarded to students who have not only excelled but demonstrated consistently that they are working at their full potential. I'll now invite Mr. Admo Makunawa, National Director for SOS Children's Village, Zimbabwe, to assist in the presentation of the prizes to other award winners of the DP1 class. So our DP1 academic prize winners for the 2021-22 academic year. Adam Seydou Kore takes the computer science prize. Ahmed Abasimel Amharic A. Akosia Akobia Opare takes the history prize. Spanish ab initio goes to Andy Jojo Abayana. Annette Egbenya takes the economics prize and shares the French B prize with Yoku Issa. So Annette Egbenya. Yoku Issa shares the French B prize with Annette. Gerard Nihimana takes the English B prize. The physics and mathematics prizes go to Jai Zhu. Now there's a young man here we've seen already, and he comes up again. Nanaya Ajiman takes geography, chemistry, and biology prizes. The Swahili Ab Initio Prize is a shared prize and goes to Renata Gatoya. And Darlene Bath. And last but not the least, for the DP1 class, Sefako Jasmine Nuto takes the Social and Cultural Anthropology Prize. Looks like she's not here. Thank you, Mr. Makunara, for being so gracious. You may take your seat. I'll now call on Mr. Alex Kekula, National Director for SOS Children's Village, Ghana, and a board member of our own SOS Hemamina International College, to assist present prizes to deserving students from our graduating class. All right. So Chipo Imbizi takes the Swahili Ab Initio Prize. Okay, which camera should they be looking into because they are confused? Please look into this camera, okay? All right. So the physics, mathematics, and chemistry prizes go to Juyong Cho. Claudel Tete takes the Social and Cultural Anthropology Prize. Kristen Bath takes the Geography Prize. The Theory of Knowledge Prize is a shared prize and goes to Nanama Okwan. All right, now please wait for me to go through this one. So the TOK Prize, which Nanama just took, is shared with Mami Sewa Ejebwedu, who also takes economics, biology, and shares a French prize with another student. So the French B prize is shared with Nadia Baumia. Michelle Lawson takes the Computer Science and Spanish Ab Initio prizes. Nana Florentine Manirakiza takes the English B prize. Ya Menubia Mfojo takes the History and English Literature prizes. Ya Ohima Mensa Asante takes the ICGS prize. And last but not least, Howard Dowda takes the Theatre prize. Oh, so that's a father and daughter moment. All right. Mr. Kekula, please come back. We missed a prize and I would be happy for you to help us. Thank you. So Danielle Darko, DP1, takes the English Literature prize. Thank you so much, Mr. Kekula, and congratulations to all award winners. I'll now call on the Vice Principal, Mrs. Ajoashi, to assist with the special awards.
Good afternoon. I now have the pleasure of inviting students who will be awarded for the special awards based on the fact that they exhibit key values of our institution, such as excellence in academics and sports, service to the community, leadership, innovation and creativity, and respect for others. I would like to invite Mrs. Victoria Bath from the class of 1996 to start with the awards. So the first award, SOS-HGIC Award for Community Engagement, is awarded to a student who exhibits leadership, motivates members of the community and schoolmates, interacts with the local community using effective tools, such as one-to-one interactions, and proficient means of communication. This person inspires change and provides sustainable solutions to problems within the community. Ladies and gentlemen, Nanajwa Adomako Guam. And knowing Nanajwa, she was probably serving behind the wings. That's why she's taking her time to get here. She's hardworking, constantly serving the community. The second award is the SOS-HGIC Award for Intellectual Promise. It's awarded to a DP1 student who has shown intense intellectual commitment, has a self-directed and purposeful vision of life, has demonstrated a desire to make a meaningful contribution to the world. Andy Jojo. The third award is the Sportsman of the Year 2021-2022, and it's no other than Prince Goodswill Asol. The next award is the Sportswoman of the Year 2021-2022, Nana Florentine Manirakazi. The next award is the Comportment and Good Citizenship Prize. This is awarded to a DP student who has consistently conducted herself in the most disciplined, courteous, friendly, and respectable manner. The winner is aware of and has demonstrated an abiding adherence to the school's guidelines and procedures in a civil and dignified manner worthy of being an ambassador of the college. Mame Sewa Ejeboji. The next award is the Special Recognition Award for Outstanding Contribution to the Life of the School. Chipo Mbizi, DP2. Innovation and Creativity Award. The recipient is someone who is imaginative in all endeavors, thinks broadly, is broad-minded, and explores various ways of thinking. The person is a risk taker, afraid to try new and different ideas for the benefit of their community, someone who is willing to explore possibilities to turn ideas into tangible products, and one who easily and willingly shares his new ideas with other colleagues. Sean Papa Yao. Thank you, Mrs. Bath. And now I'd like to call on Dr. Margaret Nkrumah to give her award for the Dr. Margaret Nkrumah Ubuntu Human Dignity Award. The Ubuntu Prize is for the student who best epitomizes the Ubuntu values of respect for the dignity of others. The student must have exhibited responsibility, care, and compassion for others, and service to the school and the general community, regardless of race or religion. Fred Sibowa, DP2. Thank you, Mrs. Nkrumah. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Kutin to give his prize for leadership. The Helmut Kutin Prize for Leadership. For the student with outstanding leadership qualities and organizational abilities, and who has positively influenced his or her peers towards achieving the goals of the school for the academic year. The recipient has consistently worked hard with others as an individual and in various teams. Philip Akwaku. And the final award for the special prizes. This is the Principal's Award for the Scholar of the Year. This was a tough choice. It took quite a number of computing to come to this. And we have a tie for the first time in the school's history. 2 students have excelled and have shown themselves to be the Scholars of the Year for 2021-2022. Can we give a round of applause to Michelle Lawson and Joan Hong Cho? Can I invite Dr. Graham to present the award, please? And now, I hand it over to Mr. Tongai Ndoro to introduce the next act.
Thank you, Mrs. Ashi. I would like to acknowledge the team from Tema International School. You're welcome. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Next on the agenda is a performance, saxophone performance by Yong Chong. He's also known as Daniel, aka Kwabena. He's going to be performing for us. So, thank you. What a young man of so many talents. Thank you so much for the wonderful performance. I would like to acknowledge our former Director of Studies, Mr. Julian Kitchen. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. There is an African proverb which says, charity begins at home. The class of 1995, they started this project. Now they're handing it over 26 years later. I would like to welcome the class of 1996. Please welcome Mrs. Victoria Bath and Mr. Brian Frimpong. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Mamdouh Bawumia, Her Excellency, the Second Lady, Mrs. Samira Bawumia, honorary founding members of this august college, all protocols observed. Thank you. I'm taking the cue from you, Mr. Kuting. We have the privilege and honor, and for me, the blessing, because this year, as an alumna of the school, I have a daughter in the graduating class. And so, you would have heard me making a lot of noise throughout the program. Forgive me, it is my day. So Victoria Bath is the name, used to be Osei when I was running around this compound. And I stand here with my esteemed and beloved classmate, Mr. Brian Frimpong, aka Mr. Powerful. We have the privilege of, I believe, doing for the first time an induction of the graduating class into the HGIC Alumni Association, if I may call it that. I know as you sit here, you are more than eager to finish and leave. And for some of you, you have sworn never to have anything to do with this college, or certain people who have stepped on your toes time without number. But let me tell you something. You are where you come from. No man is an island. And wherever you are placed in every season of your life, it is part of the journey to your destiny. Those sitting on your left and your right today are part of a community that is going to propel you to where you are destined to be and to fulfilling what the motto of this school is: service in the knowledge of Africa. So, class of 1996, we have, if I may say, rekindled the dying flames. And we want to come and talk to you about our project. Brian Frimpong will do that. But I will end my segment with a question. What is the difference between success and significance? Because success is about adding value to yourself, realizing your purpose, achieving whatever you can do, being able to afford all that you want. Significance is about adding value to others. And one of the ways to do that is through the powerful HGIC alumni network. And beyond giving of yourselves, there are many other benefits. I mean, one of them is lifetime partnerships. Some of you may even end up marrying people from this college. And somebody's giving me the eye, they know why. But internships, job opportunities, what have you. But we are a unique people, because if you've listened to every speaker today, from the various countries of Africa, we are represented. And we come with unique talents. Dr. Margaret Nkrumah said that the visionary of this school said that he wanted a center of excellence for the brightest and the best. I believe we've progressed beyond that. We are looking and we are affecting the untapped potential, the brightest diamonds in the rough. Those who may not appear bright, but with an opportunity like this will unleash their potential. That is what Brian is going to appeal to you about. If you don't take anything away from here today, remember, you want to be a person who leads a life of significance, not just success. Thank you.
Yeah, I felt, thank you very much, Victoria. I thought you were talking about me when you said those who didn't appear bright, so I'll take it as it is. But Victoria is very modest about her accomplishment. She took the prize for English when we were in HGIC, and her daughter also took the prize. I saw her daughters take prizes today, so congrats for sort of keeping the legacy on. I believe that at the minimum, a lot of the first woman president for a lot of African countries will be at HGIC alone, considering the prizes and the type of values that the school has sort of put in place. We're a product of post 25 years. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. If you see any other alum, with the majority of us is very engaged in the community. Our VP for our vice principal for AGIC is an alum, and then the national director for AGIC is also an alum. I want to talk about prizes and the reason why we decided on this as a class project. I wasn't one of the prize, you know, I didn't get a prize when I was in AGIC, so let's put that on record. Yeah, I had a good time at AGIC when I was a student. Call me a late bloomer in life, but somehow I managed to get into Harvard MBA. I have an alum who, so for Victoria, life started early. For me, life started late. So after Harvard MBA, we got on Wall Street and I started advising companies, doing multi-billion-dollar transactions, etc. And I decided to come back to Ghana. I'm doing quite a lot, even from where I sit. You know, we've interacted with quite a number of government restructuring debt all over Africa, and I think that is the empowerment that we want to bring to you. So my message is for those who got prizes and those who didn't get any prize, that the biggest prize that you can think of is the strength in the mental strength, the emotional strength, as well as the physical strength that you got from AGIC. Getting into the school in itself is the prize. So you should clap for yourselves for being able to be admitted into the school. For some of the things you wouldn't understand over time, because you know we are very hard on wanting to do ABC in life, and as life adjusts, things will fall in place, and that's why you need a community of about 2,000 AGIC alum to sort of help you shape, help you gain sort of guidance, and then even from a network and mentorship perspective, help you decide on a career path, because we didn't get that. We were the second class that was graduating, and we feel that we need to pass this to you. Now, coming back to the prize principle, we chose to set up an alumni endowment fund because we think that access to AGIC needs to be more inclusive. We need to open up the opportunity. Imagine this 2,000 alumni that is able to contribute $100 on average a month. That would be $2 million to the school every year, which will be substantive if we're able to achieve this aim. So we're starting with a modest alumni endowment fund that we've been reaching out to alumni to contribute, just so kids who have the ability, just like you guys, those who collected prize and then who didn't collect prize, can also get the prize of entering AGIC. So for this year, we want to at least target a modest $50,000, and I know we'll get it. Yeah, we started with a modest number just so we can exceed expectation and say, hey, we did $50,000 and we got $100,000. So that's the plan. That's the plan, that we want the alumni to be engaged through financial contribution, just so over time, this modest alumni engagement, right, would end up allowing students who don't have access but then are equally meritorious to be able to enter the school and gain this quality education, just so one day a woman president, maybe Zimbabwe, Kenya, Ghana, or wherever, will come from this school and that will make the big difference and validate what we said. The school's motto is knowledge in the service of Africa. So be your own inspiration and encourage yourself that from here, there's a group of alumni that is doing this work just so the classmates' composition would change. We look forward to engaging parents. Some of you parents are tired of paying school fees, etc. But we'll be reaching out to you just for a small donation here and there. Having said that, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. And is there a rep from 1997? Yeah, there's no rep from 1997. So we'll pass the baton back to 1995 if they want to do another class project. But we're hoping that by December or so, we'll announce we'll hand over a check to the school, and then also announce the value of how much we've collected through our class project. Thank you everyone. Do you want to add anything?
No, just to say thank you, and we look forward to your pledges and your checks, but cash is always preferable. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, the class of 1996. If I may, if we look at Africa, SOS Children's Villages has been in Africa for 53 years and now scattered in 47 countries. Yet, we're still heavily dependent on our Western donors, of which we're so grateful. It's inspiring to find young Africans who want to take on and help educate the African child. It goes without saying, an African proverb, that it takes a village to raise a child. Everyone in the community is responsible for helping train the child, irrespective of whose parents they are, including correction at times. We are grateful to all the parents, the sponsors, our donors, last but not least to the government of Ghana. Your Excellence, we thank you and the people of Ghana for your hospitality. There's no better country to preach the Pan-Africanism than Ghana. Thank you so much. Now I would like to call Mrs. Addison to the stage for the graduation ceremony. Thank you.
May I kindly ask the academic heads of department, the curriculum coordinators, and the financial controller to assist with the graduation ceremony. Please come up stage. Sorry, and the CAS coordinator. You don't get your CAS points, you don't graduate, right? So he's very important. The SOS-HGIC class of 2022 comprises 86 students, bringing to a total of graduating students at HGIC since our first graduation in 1995 to 1,918. The class of 2022 is our pioneering middle years program cohort and the 28th graduating class with students from Burundi, Ghana, Kenya, Lesotho, Nigeria, Rwanda, South Africa, South Korea, Tanzania, Uganda, United Kingdom, United States of America, and Zimbabwe. The students will be called up to receive the Maxine Chloe Ekuado Bia Ado. Papaya Menu Ado. Mami Sewa Ejebwedu. Kafui Kwesi Abuja, Belinda Amajaman, Benny Pascal Akayezu, Tyrese John Anda, Dwayne Nana Quenin Asari, Amanipa Isuman, Ibrahim Awal, Quinta Trezor Awino, Kweku Kweja Awache, Lisa Keswa Asiafieng, Lois Bueneki Aitevi, Paul Kweku Opare Bampo, Kristen Elikem Bath, Nadia Baumia, Malaika Asia Bene, Hamadi Barry Brima, Junyoung Cho, Tyrone Chong, Ivan Tete Kofi Dabra, Kawa Dauda, Pa Kwesi Duka, Pa Kwesi is not here. Harvey John Jansa Isilfi, Celestina Paying Isuman, Richard Jiramahoro, Elinam Awo Goji, Darrell Abeku Harrison Indom, Owura Kra Inshira Hatanokran. Petra Salima Ilyasu. Birina Irakoze. Kayla Mame Sapon Kese. Neo Anastasia Herring. Ket Ayodele Lamte. Michelle Na Odale Lawson. Francis Upset Mahenge. Nana Florentine Manirakiza. Chipo Imbizi. Ryan Kekeli Mensa. Ya Ohima Brago Mensa Asante. Ya Menubia Umfujo. Jennifer Obadia Malay. Dimpo Lucia Mohapi. Lebohang Samuel Muluantwa. Charlotte Inshura Morgan Asedu. Abigail Sapoma Morrison. Alfred Aaron Moyo. Alexandria Nakawunde. Sylvia Namanda. Raindorf Teria Na. Munir Nasor Ngowi. Jada Louise Mami Dufie Nkansa. Patrice Clenam Nuto. Angelique Nyampinga, sorry. Nanama Inshira Okran. Kenechukwu Richard Ogbogu. Frederica Na Ashele Oleno. Jaden Christian Osebre. Gospel Prince Kofi Osei. Kairos Osei Oting Atakra. Asha Kweku Owusu. Kwame Amwa Owusu. Nana Kofi Ampofo Owusu. Nana Kwesi Owusu. Yao Owusu Jr. Yao Owusu Senior. Sean Papayao Asante Sego. Bethel Sam. Jeremy Habna Sapong. Fred Seboa. Dinah Segbeji. Edwin Abdon Shayo. Adriano Suta. Mabasoto LC Tali. Andrew Sem Tete. Claudio Nakokoi Tete. Mokiti Joseph Tukwana. Samuel Weng Timothy. Ines Uibambi. Ziem Wusa. And last but not the least, Bafo Kojo Ampoma Yaboa Asao. Yes. Thank you, HODs. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduated class of 2022. And at this point, I would invite Dr. Mrs. Margaret Nkrumah to give her speech and her charge to the class. And please, if you want them to remain standing, it's their last time, so they can remain standing for your speech.
No, sit down and relax. She's hoping that I will only take 2 minutes, but I have a few things to say. So sit down and relax. I know you're all very tired and want to go home, so I will cut a few things out. So this is the graduation farewell. And dear class of 2022, as you see, all of us here are delighted to be here, both virtually, those out there, and in physical contact with you. But before we bid you farewell, I would like to share some axioms or principles from the ancient Greeks. Now, what I'm about to tell you is from at least 500 years before Christ, that is over 2,520 years ago. But I think you will find it remarkable how applicable it still is. According to the ancient Greeks, there are only 3 types of people in the world. And it has nothing to do with class or education or status. Now, the typical characteristic of a person in the first group was someone who cared only about himself or his immediate family and friends. A rather selfish and self-centered person who shared none of his vision or knowledge or skills with the community. Now, such people, the ancient Greeks, and please remember, this is a word from the ancient Greeks, not from me, were characterized as idiots. Idiots. By this, they did not mean mentally deficient or stupid people, but rather people who did not care about the greater good. The second group of people were those who did not think beyond their own groups, whether it was church or school or tribe. They would only give jobs to their cronies. They were suspicious and fearful of new ideas or change. And such people were ready to intimidate and bully and fight with people who were different from them or whose ideas felt threatening to them. The ancient Greeks put these people into the category called tribesmen. The last group, which the ancient Greeks called the citizens, did not refer to their nationality or belonging to a particular country. It referred to those who lived a useful and productive life as good members of the community and who used their knowledge and skills to benefit the community, always thinking beyond their own personal gain to the greater good of society. They were conscious of their rights, yes, but they were also responsible citizens. And they put the interest of others above their own interest. And they settled their differences amicably. So if we look at the world today, I think we can easily recognize the people who the ancient Greeks would have categorized as belonging to these 3 groups. Now, I will not go through all the characteristics of these people. I will move to the last group because we don't want the first 2 groups, do we? So the last group are the citizens, and any country or continent which has a high percentage of such citizens is indeed lucky. And I think we need Africa to be so blessed, don't we? These are the people who think critically, who do the right thing, who observe the law and regulations even when nobody is watching. They don't cheat or lie. They are compassionate, they give to the needy without looking for praise, and they project sacrifices in what they do for the public. Now I want to give you a small quote from Africa Must Unite, my father-in-law's book, published early in the 60s. And he says about the kind of citizen Africa needs, and I quote, a new type of citizen, a dedicated, modest, honest, and informed man and woman, a man who submerges self in service to nation and humankind, a man who abhors greed and detests vanity, a new type of man whose humility is his strength and whose integrity is his greatness. So it is clearly to the advantage of any country to have such citizens. And what we do here is to nurture citizens. Whatever category of student you were, when we initially recruited you, our mission is the same: to ensure that by the time you leave the school, we would have contributed in ways big and small to setting you on the path towards your becoming exceptional citizens, the kind of whom we can all be proud and whose reputations and contributions to the good of society will live long after you. To successfully achieve this, of course, we rely on the active support and cooperation of all our stakeholders assembled here and virtually across the whole continent to believe in and uphold our values. And the vibrant and high-achieving alumni, some of whom you have seen today, and you make me very proud. We have graduated over the past 32 years, and whom you have now joined are a testament to what this school stands for, and I salute you and all of them. And I would like to thank the classes of 1995 and 1996 who have set the ball rolling for contributions back to the school. Now, I would also like to say that we presently have 3 alumni on our board of directors and 6 more on our staff, and hundreds more, of course, individually, who are doing amazing things all over the world. And it all started here, one graduation after another, and you are the next along the unbreakable chain. So, our dear and newest graduating class, our hope for you is that you become your best selves and emerge as the leading citizens you were meant to be. Keep in touch and let us know what you're doing, and always remember the vision and the mission of your school and the values we have tried to inculcate in you. We know you are ready to take on the world, to transform it, and to achieve great things, not only for yourselves, but for your countries and for Africa as a whole. You will believe, we believe, will be part of the change that our continent so badly needs. Finally, I congratulate you for your resilience and fortitude. We are not an easy school. We are not easy on our students. We demand a great deal from them, and we come down hard when they don't deliver. But apart from us, you have survived, triumphed over COVID, virtual classes, face masks, lockdowns, separation from your loved ones, very, very demanding teachers, and endless tests and exams. Aiko. You are the pride of your parents, your guardians, your SOS mothers, and all of us here at HGIC. So wherever you go and whatever you do, always remember that you are citizens as defined by the ancient Greeks, and use your knowledge and skills in the service of your communities and Africa as a whole. Good luck, and God and Allah bless you all. Thank you. So, class of 2022, please stand for the graduation farewell. Go forth into the world in peace, be of good courage, hold fast that which is good. Render to no man evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Honor all men. Love and serve the Lord. Amen.
Thank you so much for the speech. I can't believe at this age our board chair is still there with the wisdom, knowledge, and supporting us. As long as the Lord give you breath, we'll tap onto that wisdom. Thank you so much. We've come to an end of our program, but in closing, we have to sing Kosisikelele Africa. Africa will not change if us as Africans are not willing to change Africa. Our youth, you have to change Africa. After Kosisikelele Africa, I would like to welcome the Vice Principal to make a few announcements, and that will be the end of our program. Please can we rise for Kosisikelele Africa? Thank you.
Let's please rise even as we do this song.
Kosisikelele Africa, malupatanisu bodowayo, Israeli tadatu yetu. Kosisikelele Latina, usapowayo. Kosisikelele Africa, malupaka Yesu bodowayo, Israeli tadatu yetu. Kosisikelele Latina, usapowayo. Ozamoya, 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 Ozamoya. Morena boloka se chama saesu, ofredi se chale matene. Morena boloka se chama saesu, ofredi se chale matene. Se boloke oh, se boloke morena, se boloke se chama sa. Jesus, se chama Africa. Maku Benjalo, Maku Benjalo. Kuse kube kuna bakare, kuse kube kuna bakare.
Please be seated.
God bless Africa. I want to end this event by thanking a few people who've made it possible for us to have a graduation ceremony befitting of the 3-year hiatus we had. So I'd like to thank the multimedia team led by Mrs. Shadow, Miss Intem, Mrs. McCarthy, Mr. Odro, and everybody else on the team who've made this possible. Thank you all so much. I also want to thank and just acknowledge a few people who have been here to support us. Mr. Okain, head of SOS Primary AGS, Dr. Sima Nair from head of DPS School, Mrs. Elizabeth Oklu from SOS Ghana. And also a very big thanks to her parents, Mrs. Yeboah Sari, who put this wonderful decor together. As we close, I'd like to announce to students, DP2s, your refreshments will be in ER1, MIP4 to DP1 in the snack area, and our parents and guests in the forecourt. Students' bus will start leaving from 1:45. Students who are leaving today, please remember to complete clearance processes with your hostel tutors before your parents pick you up at 2:30. Thank you all so much for coming. I would like to ask Mr. Ndoro to lead the guest of honor, Mr. Nkrumah, and our board members and the first family to leave first, and then we can all leave after. Thank you all.
Okay. Hey, hey, hey.
Let's do something fun now. Let's all do something fun.